So this is Jesse. I'm sitting in for Hake on the Hake report. And so right now we're waiting on Periscope. And apparently that's the way James does it. And so are we good to go now? So apparently James is kind of taut right now. So here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake report. The Hake report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake report. The Hake report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake report. The Hake report. La la la.
Hey guys! You guys sound like Hake. Hey guys!
La la la.
Hey guys! Do I sound like Hake?
You sound just like him.
Hake is not here today. He's a little under the weather. He'll be fine. I am Jesse Lee Peterson sitting in for Hake. And it is an honor to sit in for James Hake, the guy with the good hair. Except I don't have an afro. I have an Amerifro. So I am taking your phone calls at 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE. And I know that James normally gives some news and stuff, but I ran out of news on my show. So we'll just have fun. I want to go back to Brian, and I was talking to Brian from my show, and I held him over because he was rushed, and I wanted him to know he had a little more time since I will be sitting in for Hake. 888-7753-773. So Brian is talking about forgiving his mother. He went to live with his father when he was a little kid, and he finally heard from his mother or something like that. And Brian, will you start over with your story for those who are just tuning in?
Sure.
Okay.
Hey, Jesse, you did a good job. You sound proper white, like Chris.
Hey, but Chris is all white.
Chris is completely white. He's like a white piece of bread.
Well, go ahead.
Long story short, I live with my mother. My parents, I guess, were married at one point. My dad couldn't handle my mother, so he left. I would see my dad on the weekends. And my mother used to abuse me. She used to, beat me, just lie to me, try to take me away from my father, things of that nature. So even as a little kid, like, I remember just, like, hating my mother, like being, like, 7, 8, 9 years old and just hating my mother and hating being at her house. And my dad used to tell me, and, like, I forgot about this. He would be like, when I had to bring you back to your mother's house on the weekends, you would just cry and beg me not to send you back, basically. So long story short, when I was 9, it got so bad that the police actually took me out of my mother's house, and I was allowed to go live with my father.
Good.
He got custody awarded to me, which is like super, super rare. And then from the time I was 9 until I was 18, things were good. I was living with my dad. It was good. I kind of grew up a little bit rougher. I'm white. You white?
You white?
I went to pretty much an all-black school, so I grew up a little bit tougher. But, things were good. I was with my dad. So when I was 18, my mother showed up at my graduation. I knew it was my mother because she was the only white one there. But, she tried to talk to me a little bit, gave me, like, some car or whatever. I really didn't pay it no mind. But, like, later on that day or later that week, my dad was like, I think your mother's changed a little bit. I've talked to her a little bit. He goes, I'm not saying she's perfect by any means, but, maybe you can speak to her. So I tried it. And, I could just see still that, she really was still kind of the same person. She would try to manipulate me more because I was older.
Right.
She couldn't abuse me no more physically, so that's what she tried to do. But eventually it just got to the point where I cut her off, and I was in school. So I just kind of went away, and I just stopped talking to her. But she would always, like, try to find me on the internet, like, try to find my email, whatever, and it would always be around convenient dates. Like, it'd always be Mother's Day or when it was close to her birthday or Christmas. It was never like just to really talk to me. I could just see her disingenuous behavior. So I've been listening to you for about a year, and I really started doing the silent prayer seriously probably about 2 months ago, and I really started to make a change. I said I was a Christian for probably since I was 18, but, I just couldn't stop being a slut maker, right?
Slut maker.
Bad. I was a bad slut maker. But,
Yeah.
I told my girl back in November, I'm like, listen, we're not having sex anymore. She kind of got mad a little bit for a minute, but then she kind of accepted it. So, she didn't have a choice, right?
Yeah.
But, the silent prayer really, I'm not really seeing a lot, but I'm not judging that. You know what I mean? Like, what I have noticed is, like, I've been able to be a lot more still. I can just go into the prayer, and I'm not, like, moving around and, like, oh, I'm uncomfortable
Yeah.
and all that. So kind of just, I guess, by divine intervention, my mother found a way to hit me up and on my email, and she left her phone number. So I was thinking to myself, this was like last week, Wednesday. I'm like, man, I should call Jesse and ask him how I should do this before I call him. and it was crazy because the day before I did it, I woke up Thursday and Satan was talking to me like, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. Why are you bothering calling Jesse? Why are you bothering giving her? Like, you did that already, right? So I told myself, like, I'm going to go to the gym, and then afterwards I'm going to forgive her. So I went to the gym and all that, and I drove to Walmart, and I'm sitting in the parking lot of Walmart, and like you said, like my heart was beating out of my chest. I'm like, man, what's wrong with me? Like, why am I so scared to call her right now? Like, I'm a grown man. Like, what's going on, right? So finally, I'm like, forget it. I star 67 my number. I called her, and I told her, I resented you for beating me, for trying to take me away from my father, for lying to me, and I became like you. But I realized, you couldn't help yourself.
Yeah.
I don't wish to have a relationship with you. That's what I told her. And she took it a lot better than I thought. I don't really know if she was genuine in her accepting it, but I was expecting her, like you said, to kind of just go crazy, start crying, screaming, and I was prepared to sit there and listen. And if she died, right? Suffer and die. But
That's
she
right.
took it well, but it's crazy, though. Like, as soon as I got done, it's like, you said last week in church, like, it's a bad word, but it's like something magical happens. And it's like the lust and everything that I've been feeling for years and years and years, like, it's gone. I mean, like I said, I wasn't having sex since November, but, like, even just, like, the desire to, it's gone. And just something happens. So I don't know what Earl's talking about. Earl a liar. Earl got to do the silent prayer and forgive his mother.
I'm telling you. Amazing, man.
Yeah, so I'm thankful. I'm thankful I found you, and I'm starting to see things, and it's kind of the same thing with my girlfriend. Like, I'm going back and forth on should I keep dating her and all that, but it's like you said, you stop being blinded by sex and you start to see things.
Yeah.
But I'm just thankful, and I'm appreciative of you, sir, and I'm glad I found your show.
You're welcome, Brian. God bless you, man, and stay with the silent prayer. Speak up, but don't resent. Doubt every thought, and your life is just unfolding. And you're going to have a life that words cannot express. It's going to get better and better and better. God loves us, and he does amazing things with his children when they return home to him. So you'll be fine, man. That's an amazing story. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a good day.
You too, man. Amazing.
How we do it.
Oh, it is? It flashed with James when he's here?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Amazing! This red light is flashing on the camera, and I know they normally change something on there when it flash. But they'll take care of that. Let me go to Tony out of California. Tony, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse, good morning to you. How are you today?
All is well, sir. How are you?
I'm doing just fine, sir.
Nice.
I was just calling because I seen on the social media that the guys that was at the Capitol, that invaded the Capitol and destroyed it on the inside and the out, they got stopped at the airports because their name came up as being at the Capitol building, and then they started crying like little women.
So is that true? Their name showed up at the airport?
Well, yes, because they sent. One thing.
Where you get that from?
America. Wait a minute, and let me explain it to you. I'm going to explain it to you how it happened. See, at the Capitol building, people were taking pictures and sending all their to social media and calling their family and letting them know. So the cell towers caught their names from the cell phones, and then they sent the list to all the airports. And then when they got to the airport to go fly home, they got stopped and got arrested. See, America is dumb. See, Donald Trump said he loved uneducated.
And where did you get that from, Tony?
On on social media.
Oh, you saw that
I got
information on social media.
No, I ain't just see it, sir. They filmed it, and the guy started crying like a little female.
They filmed the guys being arrested at the airport.
Yes, sir.
Well,
yes, sir.
My producer is giving me this right now. This is from the National Review. People that broke into the Capitol have been identified and found themselves on a no-fly list.
That's it. Yes, no-fly list.
And he said that he saw the video that you were talking about as well, Tony.
Yes, because I
So isn't that amazing that for somehow you can arrest the whites just like that, but the blacks who committed a terrorist attack upon America, they were not arrested. Isn't that like amazing? I'm sorry?
What terrorist attack was that? Well, what terrorist attack are you speaking on, sir? I didn't see no blacks with no
all
bombs.
All of a sudden, the FBI is active. You know what I'm saying? They become very effective.
Wait a minute.
Oh, you don't know about the terrorist attack?
Wait a minute. What building did a black blew up? What black man or black woman blew up a building? Or what black man or black woman shot 50 or 500 people?
So you're not familiar with the country being burned down all year?
Sir.
I'm asking you a question now. Are you familiar with that?
I'm familiar with people coming into the city and trying to blame it on other organizations doing these attacks. Yes, I am familiar.
So you are familiar with the looting, the routing, the destruction of automobiles, the burning of buildings, the takeover of police.
I am familiar with the white folks doing that.
Hold on, Tony. Hold on, Tony. The takeover of police facilities and running cops away and burning by Black Lives Matter and others, right? You are familiar with that, right?
No. Black Lives Matter had nothing to do with that.
They did have something to do with it.
No.
They the one that was doing they were doing the terrorist attack.
The protest. They were doing the peaceful protest.
That was peaceful?
Other people came in from other areas, cities, and towns.
But how do you know that didn't happen at the Capitol then?
Because all of them had Donald Trump support. And
but how do you know that those were not invaders?
Because they said it out their mouth. They love Donald Trump.
But how do you know that those were not invaders who...
I just told you.
But still, how do you know that they were not invaders? Since you seem to be so sure that Black Lives Matter didn't burn, it wasn't black people that was stealing and robbing and killing and carrying on.
Excuse me. For one thing for sure, two things for certain. The guy that had the horns on, that stood inside the Capitol, they got pictures of him and Julian taking pictures together, okay? So that was Donald Trump people, okay?
How do you know?
I just told you.
It couldn't be pretending.
He took pictures with Julian.
According to the New York Post, at least 2 known Antifa members have been confirmed to have infiltrated the Trump group in D.C.
Did they get arrested?
So how do you know that Black Lives Matter people were infiltrated, but you don't believe it about the Trump people?
Because one thing for sure, two things for certain. Again, this guy took pictures with Giuliani, Donald Trump lawyer.
That was one person, man. How about the others?
Well, hey, the thing is, look, you can't narrow it down to all of them, okay? See, one thing, you said stay in the present. Stop going in the past.
Right.
So let's stay in the present. So forget Black Lives Matter.
No, we can't forget Black Lives Matter. They're still destroying our country.
Wait a minute. They did not.
How about when they were going tearing down flags and monuments and all that? They're still doing it, Tony. It's not over.
Why did you contradict your own saying? You said don't go in the past. The past is gone.
It's happening now, Tony.
See, you and others.
Tony, you're not listening. Listen to me. Tony, listen. It's happening now.
Where it happening at? Where Black Lives Matter happening at?
Black Lives Matter is still routing, looting, and carrying on. It's not over. They're threatening people. Last week, they were just at some mayor house and governor. Oh, the governor of Portland, I believe, Seattle, Portland, I think. And also Nancy Pelosi place. They went to her place, too.
No, they did not.
Yes, they did.
Well, one thing I want to say.
And so my question to you, why haven't they been arrested, but you can arrest the whites before they get to the airport?
Because they didn't tear down nothing. They didn't destroy nothing, okay?
So you're lying.
Can I say this, sir?
You're lying.
Can I say this? See, you're the one lying.
What am I lying about?
Calling me a liar.
How am I lying?
This is it. You're the one promoting Donald Trump. And as long as you keep promoting
How am I lying, though?
Evilness, huh?
How am I lying?
You're saying that they destroying the country. Black Lives Matter ain't destroying the country. Black Lives Matter
so when they were burning and looting, were they building the country?
Wait a minute. Forget that, sir. It's
No.
That's
when
over.
they are tearing down statues and flags and monuments and burning, Tony, are they building?
Need to be gone.
Tony,
that's building.
Tony,
Tony,
you know, I gotta run, man.
I'm telling you, that's building.
Okay, so when they were destroying the country, they were building. You said they were building.
Yes, when you tearing down racist statues, yes, that's building the country.
How about when you're burning down other people's businesses? Are you building?
I don't know nothing about that.
You don't know that happened, huh?
Because
you don't know that happened, right?
Infiltrators burn down their people buildings.
Amazing.
White folks burn them down.
One last question, Tony. How, when they are destroying statues and monuments, how are they building?
Getting rid of racism. That's nothing but racism.
How is that getting rid of racism?
Because it don't represent the people that live here in this country. It just represents one group of people.
It represents Americans.
No, well, that's racist white folks there.
Oh, because the blacks are not Americans?
No, how can they be black? How can they be American and be part of patriotism? Show me 2 black patriots.
Tony, you don't even make any sense.
No, only reason you're doing what you're doing because you're getting paid for it, sir. That's the only reason.
How about when they took over?
What you're doing.
How about when they took over at least 2 police precincts?
That were white folks.
Were they building there?
That was white folks.
They were black folks, Tony.
No, they won't.
Why are you so in denial?
I'm telling you the truth.
What? No, you're not. There's something wrong with you.
It was not Black Lives Matter doing that. It was white folks doing
All right.
that.
Thank you, Tony.
Have a good day, sir.
Amazing. It's mind-blowing. But that's what anger does. As Nick, that report, some of you might know, on my show, Nick gave a study that was done at Farmingham State University, Massachusetts, that anger made you more susceptible to misinformation. And Tony had deep anger. He doesn't know about the Black Lives Matter. He think they built. They're building. That's mind-blowing. Jacob is out of California. Lodi, California. I've been there before. Jacob, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse.
How you doing, Jacob?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
All is well, sir.
So my question was, should the man bring the woman out of her hell before or after marriage?
That's a good question. Should the man bring the woman out of her hell before or after marriage? It would be really great if she can overcome that before marriage. Go and forgive. You would save yourself a lot of trouble. But let's say that you're already married. You married a woman that was in hell, has all the anger, and you know. If you become the son of God, you can definitely start pointing the way for her and watch your children. Now, she will end up spiritually traumatizing the children. It's going to happen. But you could be patient, be honest, don't get angry at her, and then in about 50 years, she might come around. And then you'll die.
Oh, okay. I see. Well, I also have another question.
Okay, come back to your phone, though.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
So I've been having trouble, trying to forgive my mom. So,
come back to your phone.
You can't hear me?
I can now, but you go away from it or something happens. You having trouble with what?
I'm having trouble with forgiving my mom.
Why?
So like no one's ever made me, or I've never felt as angry as I am whenever I'm with her.
Yeah.
So I know I have a lot of anger,
Right.
but I just don't know what I need to forgive her for. Like I can't put my finger on it. So
How old
like
are
when
you,
I go
Jacob?
to her, I'm 17.
Oh, okay. And when you go to her, you want to what?
Well, I want to be able to like say, I'm sorry for hating you for doing this.
Right.
Like I don't want to just say I'm sorry for hating you, because that's like really unspecific, and I want to tell her exactly what I'm sorry for.
When you're around her and you get angry, is she saying things or doing something that makes you angry?
Yeah, it's not really so much anymore. It was mostly when I was younger, but now it's I don't really struggle with it that much. But
What would she
it's
do
still
or
there,
say
for
when
sure.
you were around her, when you were younger, and she would make you angry? What would her action be, or what would she say?
I don't even know. She would just be like controlling and stuff like that. It was just like get under my skin and
Well, forgive her for that.
for being controlling.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I feel like I have more hate against my father anyway, though.
And why do you hate him?
Well, because I resent him for smoking pot and not really like being there for me and like teaching me and not like protecting me from my mom. So
Oh.
like I feel like I have more to forgive my dad for than even my mom.
Well, why don't you go and forgive him for that? Let him know you're sorry for resenting him for that.
So I should do both of them?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Okay.
Yeah, and are you doing the silent prayer, Jacob?
On and off.
Suffer, do the silent prayer morning and night, and go and forgive your parent for those things, and God will forgive you.
All right.
And you're fortunate, you're blessed in that you're able to see that at 17, you say, or 16?
Yeah, 17.
You're blessed for being able to see that at 17, you avoided a lot of hardship and mistakes and stupid stuff. So go and forgive. They're doing the best they could. They have not forgiven their parents, and they have issues. They can't see, so they've done the best that they could. So forgive them for it, and you'll be fine.
Okay.
Let me know how it goes, Jacob.
All right, I'll call you back. I have one last question, though, and then I'll leave you.
Yeah, no problem.
So, I've been having trouble, like, 'cause my mom took me to church, and and they're all like Baptists.
Yes.
So like they taught me that like Jesus is God and stuff like that, and I'm kind of coming around to realize that maybe that's not true, and I'm really like kind of in a gray area right now where I'm not really sure what's true. But one thing that I'm having trouble like understanding is Jesus in the Bible. He said that I am, before Abraham I was.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You heard that? So how do you like answer that when people say that?
Listen.
Why did Jesus say that if he wasn't God?
Listen, don't worry about that right now, because I want you to see it for yourself. When you go and forgive your parents and return, especially when you return to your earthly father, forgive him, and God will reveal those things to you. Don't worry about that at this point, because if I convince you of something, you'll just believe it because I said it. It's enough to know that you don't understand that. It will be given to you.
All right.
Once you forgive your father, then the Father that's in you, which is God, the Holy Spirit is there, Christ is there, will reveal those things to you. And that way you would know it for yourself.
Okay, I see.
All right?
All right.
Because it's good that you don't know if Jesus is God or not. You will see for yourself. Go and forgive.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
I wish you well, Jacob. Call me back.
All right, I will. Thank you for your time, Jesse.
You're welcome, buddy. Amazing. You don't want to learn this stuff. You want to discover. Because if you learn it, the ego will get in the way and make you think that you know. And that's a lower form of knowing, the lower intellect. Really. There's a greater intellect that comes from God. And the problem with the Bible thumpers, they've been trained, they've their egos have been built in the same way an ego is built in the secular educational world as well. All right? That's amazing. Craig is a first-time caller out of Texas. Craig, welcome to the HakeReport.com.
Hey, Jesse. Big fan.
Thank you.
I've listened for a long time. For my job, I had to travel to Minneapolis and Kenosha after the riots, and I saw all the damage that those riots caused. And I've been a big fan of you for a long time, and I never, quote, understood like why you would always say that whites build and blacks destroy. And after my time working in both zones, Minneapolis riot zone and the Kenosha riot zone, I pretty much told myself that I would never, ever, ever vote for a liberal Democratic, anybody like this before again in my whole entire life, because I saw how much pain and suffering and destruction those two riots caused. And the worst part is that these people who burned down these towns, they didn't get it to the man, is that they burnt down low income African American businesses. Yeah. And a lot of those African Americans in both Kenosha and Minneapolis don't have access to grocery stores or pharmacies anymore because they all burned down. Yeah. And so, like, after the riot, quote unquote, at the Capitol, I just feel like the liberals won, and that as a conservative, like, I swear to God, I would never vote for a Democrat or a liberal ever again after seeing how they pretty much endorsed all this violence. But now, like, with the censorship and the cries from the liberal left about how evil conservatives are, I just don't know what to do anymore.
Yeah. Why didn't you believe me when I said, before you saw that, when I said that blacks don't build, they destroy, and whites build? Why didn't you believe that when I said it?
I just didn't believe it. I thought that was just a philosophy, something. But
how old are you, Craig?
I'm about 35.
And so, but have you traveled in other parts of this country where there are communities that at one time was total white, and they were beautiful community. Once the blacks move in, they destroy them. They destroy whole cities. Look at Atlanta, Georgia. It was at one time a beautiful city. Now crime is. My producer gave us a map that showed crime all over the city once the blacks took over. When you travel to inner cities in your area, if you go to the inner cities, you don't see where they're building; they're only destroying.
The worst part, Jesse, is the aftermath of what happened afterwards. Is that I had to go back to Minneapolis twice after the riots, and because the thing is that there was so much murder and arson and robbery in Minneapolis because the cops pretty much gave up. Yeah. And they stopped enforcing the laws. And so the thing is that, like, internally where I work is that we've pretty much declared Minneapolis a no-go zone.
Oh, good.
And but after the events last week, it just seems that the liberals laid out a trap for us, and then we fell into it, and then they finally got us.
But if the blacks were the way that they were prior to the so-called civil rights movement, blacks used to be self-contained, self-controlled. And I believe it was Anna, she laid out how they built Wall Street, and they had banks, and they were doing their thing because they were self-controlled. But once they turned their lives over to the so-called civil rights leaders and the government, they lost all self-control. And so white people, no one was correcting them. And now they are almost at a point of no return. And not all but most black people. And it's going to get worse because they'll put these radical blacks in position to make laws and to make decisions. They're only going to get worse before they get better. Obama nearly destroyed America. He's black.
Just one more thing is that what the worst stat, like I crunched data, the worst stat I came across after the riots is that African Americans in Minneapolis after the George Floyd riots, more African Americans were killed by other African Americans after the George Floyd riots than the previous 5 years. Wow.
Well, that's what's going to happen because they want to get rid of the police departments and all that, and there will be nothing to stop them. The violence in black people will get worse. You haven't seen anything. But protect yourself, watch out, and I appreciate your call, Craig. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse.
All right, buddy. It's going to get worse. It was the blacks who helped in this election, and all the cities where blacks were helping with the ballot thing, they helped to steal the election. No one says a thing about it. That's why the courts won't deal with it. The government won't deal with it. No one will deal with it because it's about the blacks. They helped to put Joe Biden in there. And we all know it, and everybody are aware of it, but no one will say it because they don't want to be called racist. So they're letting the country go to hell in a handbasket. Supreme Court and all. Let me go to Samuel. Samuel out of Sweden. Samuel, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thank you, Jesse. It's nice to be on the Hake show.
The HakeReport.com. Yes, sir. Samuel. Oh, man, I think his phone dropped.
Muted, maybe?
It may be muted. Amazing. Call me back, Samuel. I don't know if you dropped muted or what. Earl is out of Michigan. Earl, welcome to the Hake Report. You're on with Jesse Peterson.
Buenas tardes.
Hola.
Jesse Lee Peterson.
Hola.
Jesse.
What the?
But just FYI, on our discussion before you cut me off on your show.
Okay.
The point I was making is that quote of yours about hearts of men and children was referring to John the Baptist.
How would you know? You're not even a Christian.
How you know what I am?
Because
I just said I wouldn't tell you.
Because if you were a Christian, you would know that it's a blessing. Hey, hold on, Earl. Don't behold me. If you were a Christian, you would know it's a blessing to be a Christian, and you would let it be known in order that others might turn back to God.
That's your interpretation. The Ku Klux Klan claimed they were Christian.
Right.
Everybody and their mama claim they're Christian.
And that's why you don't know.
Donald Trump's a Christian, and he's the biggest devil there is.
And one thing I know about the Great White Hope.
Just because people claim they're Christian don't mean a darn thing.
The one thing I know about the Great White Hope, he is a Christian. He is a son of God. That's why he's so hated.
Have you ever met him?
Have you ever met him? I don't need to meet him to know that. I've seen him in action.
Yes, you do.
I've seen him in action.
Yes, you do.
No.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
You don't know what he does. You don't know what he does in the dark, do you?
That doesn't matter.
All you know is what you see on TV.
That's all I need to see.
His own family tells you what he is.
I don't care about what he does.
And everybody that works around him tell you what they found out about him.
Earl.
Because they was enamored by him, too.
Earl, I know people who work.
But you don't believe that, do you?
Earl, I know people who work very closely with the president. They say he is amazing as well.
And there's a lot of folks that said he's the second coming of Caligula. So that don't mean nothing.
And did you believe
that?
That
Doesn't mean jack.
Did you believe that?
I believe he's rotten to the core.
Did
and
you believe what the others said about him?
First.
Did you believe what the others said about him?
Yeah, I believe his family and everybody else before I believe you.
So
I believe you're so enamored with him that you worship him so much you can't see straight.
So you're not a Christian then, because if you were a Christian, you wouldn't believe.
No, I don't care what you say.
You wouldn't believe. You wouldn't believe what you heard about him if you were a Christian.
Count what you say. Who's a Christian? Who's not?
Well, you're not a Christian.
What authority do you have?
You are not a Christian.
What authority are you to tell who's a Christian or not?
You're not.
And you're not.
And the reason I know you're not.
You're worshiping devil. He lies all the time.
What did he lie about?
And you say, God.
What did he lie about?
The God you worship faints and lying. Only one that faints and lying is Satan, because he lies from the beginning. Remember that quote?
What does he lie about?
Remember that quote? Why do you worship somebody who lies?
Earl, calm down. Why black people always got to scream and yell? What did the president lie about?
Well, he just lied Wednesday.
About what?
He claimed he's the one that called the National Guard and so forth. It was Vice President Pence.
And
he didn't do nothing. He said he immediately called the National Guard and so forth.
How do you know he did not?
Because they reported on him in the White House that they had to prompt him and push him because he was enjoying the view. He was enjoying them ransacking and so forth. And he was more concerned why the people around him wasn't happy with it.
Why do you want to believe these things about him?
And why do you believe such a liar?
Earl, why do you want
so enamored?
Earl, let's do one at a time. So I'm asking you, and then you can ask me, and then I ask you, and then you ask me. And that way the people can hear us. Why do you want to believe these things about him?
Why do I want? I don't want to believe. I believe what the evidence is. And
Why?
So forth. And the facts of it, that he lies, and they back him, and they show that he lies. He lied one time, and they showed him on tape, and then he'll claim, he'll backtrack, and then admit it. But
Earl,
you don't see that. You don't see that because you worship him.
Do these people love or hate the president?
I think people, there are some zealots that love him, that can't see straight. They see the forest from the trees. And there's folks that they look at his track record and no, he ain't about nothing.
The media hate him, Earl, so they're never going to tell you the truth about him.
The mob. Let's talk about the mob that ransacked the Capitol and so forth. You see, the difference is these folks are anarchists. They're attacking the government. They're attacking the number 2 and number 3 people that, in case of emergency, they're the ones that will stand in as the president. There's a Vice President Pence and a leader of the House, Pelosi. So if they had did some harm to them, they attacked the leadership in the government.
And you feel that way about Black Lives Matter too?
Yeah, if they had done what
do you mean if?
What those Trump supporters did and stormed the Capitol, I can just hear you talking about them every which way, how they destroy and how they do nothing but destroy and just a mob and senseless and so forth. But let some white folks do it. Oh, man, I can make every excuse in the world.
Do you feel that way about Black Lives Matter?
I feel that way about anybody that destroys and so forth. I think both whoever does it should be called out.
Did Black
But you
Lives
don't do
Matter
that.
destroy?
But I don't know if they're destroying.
You
but I
don't
know there
know.
were people.
Why
I
people don't
there
know
were
about
folks,
Black Lives Matter? They saw more Black Lives Matter action.
I know folks
What do
that
you,
was,
did you see Black Lives Matter people, Black Lives Matter destroying and burning and
folks that was-
stealing? Did you see that?
I saw folks that was marching along with Black Lives Matter.
How do you know they
But
were?
I don't know if they were with Black Lives Matter.
How-
A lot of folks join in. They're not some kind of organization. They arrange marches and so forth, and anybody can do it.
No, they are an
ain't
organization. I have interviewed them. It was founded by
I
a
know
bunch of.
you
It was
have been-
founded by a bunch of fat black radical lesbians.
I know what you're saying, Jesse.
So it's
but
an
I'm saying
organization.
anybody,
Why are
they're
you
not exclusive.
repeating the same lies that other blacks in denial are repeating?
It's not exclusive to any membership.
That's not
They don't
true.
have membership cards and so forth. Anybody, when they call a
Earl.
march, anybody and their mama can join it.
Earl,
And you don't know where they come from.
why are you excusing Black Lives Matter, but
I'm
you're
telling you the
but
facts
you're on
that
the
you don't want to
people-
hear.
why are you excusing?
know- do you-
Earl, one at a
do you
time.
know
I
that
don't
Black
feel like
Lives
yelling.
Matter-
I've done 3 hours already. One at a time. Why are you excusing Black Lives Matter, but not the whites at the Capitol building? Earl?
Simply, Jesse, folks that lead the marches, Black Lives Matter, and the folks that join in and march along with Black Lives Matter are not all Black Lives Matter. They just go along with the cause. They come from anywhere.
And the same could be
So,
said about the folks who went into the Capitol building.
Exactly. But in
So
that
why
mix, when
you
had-
blaming
you had-
Trump and Trump supporters if it's possible that the people who went into the Capitol building were infiltrated and it wasn't Trump supporters,
infiltrated by who?
non-Trump supporters?
Yeah, like the one that had was caught in this truck with about 11 Molotov cocktails.
No, it's like the ones that were
and so
stealing
forth,
TVs.
and what you call those
It like
type of
the
guns.
It
and
like
so
the
forth.
ones that
And
were
you had-
stealing TVs and radios and washing machines and burning
And-
down people's business. It's like
and
those.
QAnon conspiracy theorists and every nut that you can name that they arrested. You know that guy with the that I guess that outfit with all that fur and stuff, animal stuff he had on his head and stuff. He was a QAnon person.
How
all
do you
those folks
feel
and all
about
those
what
crazy
happened? How you
folks
feel
you
about
support.
Earl?
And all those folks you support.
Earl, I can't be yelling at you today. I'll lose my voice. I got counseling sessions all day today to do, so I can't yell.
pity the
Why
folks
are
that you
you
gotta counsel.
upset? Are you upset at what happened at the Capitol building?
Yeah, I mean, I don't condone it. Do you condone it?
No. Are you upset what
Did you,
Black Lives
talk about
Matter
it?
did to America?
Did you talk about it? Did you talk about the folks that did it? I haven't heard a word you said about it.
Earl, did you,
About the folks that did it.
Earl, one more
What have
time.
you said about it?
One more time. Did you get upset? Are you upset at the folks, Black Lives Matter, for burning down and terrorist attack upon America?
No, I'm not going with that. Like I told you, I explained you my point that it wasn't.
I asked
Black
you,
Lives
are
Matter.
you upset about that?
I don't sanction any kind of destruction and so forth. But I won't
Did
put
you
it on
denounce
Black
what
Lives
Black
Matter.
Lives Matter did to
Hear me
America?
clearly. Hear me clearly. I don't blame Black Lives Matter.
Well, I haven't
because
heard you say
got everybody
anything
and their
about
mama
it.
in this.
I haven't heard you say
in that
anything
group.
about it. You tried to justify it by saying, oh, it wasn't Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter, not an organization.
I'm saying it could be anybody and their mama. It could be you.
Well, the same thing at the Capitol, right?
No, they call those folks.
Amazing.
And they identified the folks that they as anarchists and right-wing extremists
Earl.
and militia.
Earl, you don't know what you're talking about.
Praise Christ, Jesse. And why don't you condemn them?
You don't know what you're talking about.
Why don't you condemn them, Jesse? Because they're white?
When you condemn Black Lives Matter, I condemn them.
Do you just suck up to
why
white
don't
folks
you condemn Black Lives
because
Matter?
they touch on your head and call you shine?
Why don't you condemn Black Lives Matter?
When they do something to condemn, I will.
When they were chanting, "What do we want? Dead cops." Did you condemn that?
I don't agree with it, but you had folks
Did you
in the
condemn
60s
it?
calling out pigs and so
Did
forth.
you condemn it?
I said I didn't go along with it.
Did you condemn it?
That means in other words, I condemn it. I don't condone it.
Did you condemn it?
I didn't vocally condemn it.
What you talking about then?
With it.
You don't know. So don't be telling me what to do. You didn't do it.
Idiot. You didn't. You the one that talked about Black Lives Matter and so forth, and everybody else and their mama. And
But you're
had no
talking
problem
about what happened
condemning
at the Capitol building.
You have no problem condemning them, do you?
Who Black Lives Matter?
You condemn who you don't like, but you don't say a word about folks that you support.
Don't say who. Earl, thank you for your call. Hake could be back tomorrow. All right, he'll yell with you.
Yeah,
all right?
that'd be better.
Okay, thanks,
that'd
Earl.
Be better. Right. Adios, amigos.
All right, buddy. Whew. No wonder Hake needed a rest. What the? Hake is out today, folks. 888-77-53773. Samuel is back. Samuel, did you drop your phone or something?
No, I got an Obama phone, so it's acting up. If you lose me again, just yell at me to hit my phone so it will work again.
Okay. Well, go ahead.
You know, immediately when I first found you on YouTube, like 3 years ago now, I started to get involved in politics because that was something you said we have to go out and have to be, try to change society. And the problem is that in Sweden, all the major political parties are pro-abortion and pro-LGBTQ rights. And I tried first one of the more conservative big parties, but it didn't work out. Then I tried with a new coming party, but they didn't have a spine, didn't dare to have a clear stand on things.
Yeah.
So now my membership in that political party is going out this month. So I'm looking for, now I still want to change, affect societies. Do you have any advice to me how to try to get involved in politics when it's so crazy? In Sweden, like 99.9% of the population support abortion, and a lot of people, perhaps not 99%, but a lot of people support all kind of immoral things.
One of the ways that you can make a change, you're a young man, Sammy, why don't you run for office?
Well, let's run for office. We don't have that. They only select political parties. It's not like there are other European countries where you can turn up as an individual and get elected to Congress. But it's not possible in Sweden. You have to have a political party. You have to have at least 4% of the Swedish vote.
So why don't you start a political party?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it, but I hardly know anyone who shares my, let's say, conservative. In America, it would be conservative. In Sweden, I'm considered a fanatic because I'm against abortion.
But you don't need to know anyone to do it. God is with you. Step out and have no doubt. And when I first started Barn, it was just me. I started, and then And then God sent other people to help me get it done. And so have no doubt, you see that a change needs to be made for the good. And if you're now of God, just step out and do it. Start with you and God, and one thing will lead to another one.
Well, okay. You know, a technical problem is a political party needs to have more people than one person.
But
you're right in that.
They'll come. People will come. People are looking for someone to stand up because they're too afraid to do it. But if one person stands, God is with you, you have a whole army.
Yeah.
You just don't see it right now.
You know, I actually see I can start the idea of a party. You know, I don't...
Well, start a party.
I'm very happy that I called you. You can just tell the obvious, simple truth.
When I started Bond, I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea how it was going to get done, but I had no doubt that it would work. So I just did what's in front of me, and God has made it possible. He made this happen, not me, because I was okay with stepping out.
I'm going to do it, Jesse. I'm going to do it.
Be ready, because the haters will come out, too. You're going to have to deal with that. That's why I'm telling people to endure the little things that you're dealing with in your life with your family, your friends, and your whatever, right? And it prepares you for the big things. So they will come after you, but have no doubt.
I was not born to live under a rock, so I'm going to take it.
Well, start a party, man, one at a time. One step at a time, right? All right?
Yeah, thanks very much.
All right, Sammy, it's good to hear from you, by the way.
Yeah, nice.
Hake should be back tomorrow, I'm not sure, but he's resting today.
Well, have a great day.
You too, buddy. Thank you. Step out, folks. I did not grow up thinking that I would be doing anything that I'm doing. Really. I didn't think, one day I'm going to do this. I'm going to start an organization. I'm going to do a radio show or TV show or anything. It wasn't a part of my thinking. It wasn't even that I'm aware of. It's something that I wanted to do. I don't resist the opportunities, but I'm just letting you know, if you have faith, all things are possible. God has inside of you a life that will unfold for you, and you never knew he had a plan for you. Don't look for your purpose. It'll find you. You seek the kingdom of God in his right way, and it will be added. So Earl must have missed Jesse's statement very next day after the thing happened at the Capitol there. Earl must have missed it, I'm told. It's amazing. Let me go to Bob. Is it Boomer Bob? Out of Chicago, Illinois.
Can you hear me okay?
Bob, welcome to the show.
Yes, I'm on speakerphone. Can you hear me?
No, you can't do it on speaker, buddy. Let me let Nick talk to you, and I'll come back to you. Howard is out of Claremont, North Carolina. Howard, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hello, Jesse. How are you?
All is well, sir. How are you?
I'm fine.
Nice.
Doing well. Fantastic.
Good.
Happy to be alive.
That's right.
You know about the communists and all that?
Yeah.
I'm sure you may have heard, and your experts, back in the 80s when the Russian guy defected to the United States, and he told what the Russians were doing, the Communist Party were doing.
Uh-huh.
They were infiltrating the schools and everything, and pushing radical homosexuals and all that stuff. They've done a good job. They've done what they said they was going to do.
Amazing.
Have you heard about that?
Yeah, somewhat. I'm not real familiar with it, but I have heard about it over the years. Absolutely. I know.
not real
I know
familiar,
that happened to the blacks during the so-called civil rights movement.
Mhm.
The Communist Party infiltrated the black people at that time, and because they were angry and they could not see, and the communists tend to infiltrate people when they're angry, because they know that when you're angry, you can make yourself look like the friend when you're really the enemy. You just take advantage of them.
They infiltrated the universities too.
Yeah, absolutely. It's horrible what they've done to the schools.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. And as quiet as it's kept, they have infiltrated the churches as well.
Yes. And another thing I want to tell you about Biden, winning. God puts the people in the power who he wants to be. Biden, if he does get in, still wait and see. Biden's got him in there. God's got Biden in there for a reason to work out his plan.
So you think God put Biden there?
Well, I'm not a Bible thumper, but I have read, you know about Nebuchadnezzar, or however you say him. I say Lespenezer. You've heard of Lespenezer Hay, ain't you?
I have.
And, he made him go eat grass and live with the animals, so he recognized, and he showed that he controls who gives power to whoever he wants to,
Well, God he doesn't put them there, but he allows it to happen.
Yes.
Because we have been given the authority by God, and he draws in us to prevent those kind of things from happening. But if we've been turned away from God, he will allow those things to happen in hopes that the suffering will wake you up, cause you to come back to him.
Yeah. I got a good saying you could put on one of your shirts.
What's that?
I don't know if you'd want to put it on. Oh, God's in control.
Oh, God's in control. That's right.
I like to have a shirt saying, "Oh, God's in control."
That's
like
right.
The old walls going up.
I like that saying, man. I may do that.
And I'd like to ask you a few more if I got time. If I don't,
yeah, one more. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yes, one more.
This don't have nothing to do with politics. It's about the thoughts. I've asked you before about this. You say all thoughts are evil, right?
Yes.
Every single one.
Everyone.
All the time.
All the time about anything.
Okay. So a couple of weeks ago, I was doing the silent prayer, and when I first started doing it, I thought about you a lot,
Yes.
And then about a week later, something was telling me, my thoughts was telling me, don't put Jesse up on the pedestal. And I heard experts talk about that, and I was like, wow, that was talking about what I was thinking.
Yeah, we had a major discussion about that because
I listened to it.
I noticed that people do it even when you tell them not to. It's something about the person that caused them to do it anyway. And it's like they're in a dream, and when you say something or do something that they don't like or they think is wrong, all of a sudden they come out of that dream and you're no longer on the pedestal. And that's because we're not supposed to put anyone or anything before God.
I was putting you on the pedestal. What I was getting at in my silent prayer, I want to ask you if this thought was from Satan.
Yes.
Something just come over me and told me, Jesse's just a man. He showed you the way. Don't put him on the pedestal, put me on the pedestal. Was that Satan telling me that or God telling me that?
Well, definitely not from Satan, because Satan is not going to tell you the truth about anything. You have. Are you able to tell between a thought and and awareness?
It was an awareness. It just come on me
that's not from Satan. Satan talked to you.
Is that a thought? Is that a thought? Like you say, it was a voiceless thought. It wouldn't.
Well, that wasn't from Satan. That's from God.
I want to know how to really know if it's from God. He's revealed that to me. He's revealed other stuff to me.
Well, that's because
It's
God.
It's got to be God. It can't be Satan.
God, Satan.
Kinda confused me
Hey,
sometimes.
Samuel. I mean, Bob.
Howard.
I mean, Howard. Sorry, Howard. I'm looking at Bob.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Satan talked to you in your head. God revealed to you in your soul of your belly.
But it just still worries me sometimes that you say all thoughts are from Satan.
Why does that worry you?
And when I have those thoughts, I'm thinking, is that thought?
Yeah, that's Satan playing a game with you.
So I really believe that those were from God because I was putting you on a pedestal.
Well, yeah, Howard, I got to run. Listen, Howard.
I know you got to run.
Let me tell you this real fast.
Okay.
All voices in your head are from Satan.
Mm-hmm.
Don't believe any of them.
Yeah.
And then you can't help but have faith in God.
Oh, I have faith in him. I'm still like a baby, like you say. I'm still growing.
Yeah.
I'm about 6 months old now and he's revealing stuff to me.
Yeah, so be patient. It's amazing. It gets better. It gets better and better. You haven't seen anything, all right?
And I really appreciate you.
You're welcome, Howard. Call me again.
Old God's in control.
That's right. God's in control. Thank you, Howard.
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, Don, you're a little controversial. You're talking about illegal immigration. I said it's illegal.
So I'm supposed to take a break right now?
Hake usually does.
Oh, okay. Let me take
It's up to you.
A quick break. When I come back, straight to the phone. I don't have any news items, right? Because I'm sitting there for Hake. And Hake is a little under the weather. Wasn't feeling well today. You know, it is flu season, right? And so Hake normally get the flu every year. But hopefully he'll be back tomorrow. Let me take a quick break. Back in a moment. All right, folks, welcome back to the HakeReport.com. And Hake is out today, a little under the weather, beta. And he'll be back tomorrow. If he doesn't, he's beta. But hopefully he'll be back tomorrow. So the Sun is reporting. There are reports that the president will be speaking today on the social media censorship by tech companies. The Great White Hope will be speaking today. Joel, what about that red light? Don't y'all supposed to change the cartridge or something?
No, that's fine.
Lord. That's the same thing Chris said. And so, it's not over yet. Super chats, a D-line for Hake.
Super chat. All right, we'll do it sort of like Jesse. All right.
Sort of like Hake.
Well, he doesn't do the drop. He doesn't do this thing.
Super chat.
But since I'll be reading them, I'll do it like that.
Okay, do it like the... Okay, whatever. I'm just here to do this.
Hake usually reads them, but I'll read them.
Okay.
Just a few here. Mo Better Stand Up with a Diamond says, humans believe anything the TV tells them today.
Yeah, especially with the ones who have anger.
Mo Better with a Ninjagini, humans are evolving into an unstable, overly sensitive, self-righteous, virtue-signaling sheep herd.
Oh, amazing.
So true. And that's all for now.
Thank you for Hake. TheHakeReport.com. My TV show, The Fallen State.tv, we have a brand new episode this Friday, if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, at 12 noon. The Fallen State.tv. I interviewed Tito Jackson. And Tito Jackson is a Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, original member of the Jackson 5. Watch this teaser.
Next time on The Fallen State.
I made music at the time when you were afraid to say damn on the record.
Yeah.
We would go to our little private schools. They'll be studying about history in England or whatever. And we'll come back and they're learning about the Queen. And we'll show them pictures of us and the Queen. And there's a lot of great cops out there. But I've had a few friends. What you stopped me for? You're going to get treated the way you treat others.
Yes.
If you're driving and your license expired, you're supposed to go to jail.
What was it like when you lost Michael Jackson?
That was one of the worst times ever. I think about my brother every day, man. Every day.
Amazing. It was an amazing discussion this Friday at 12 noon Pacific time. Tito Jackson. I was surprised about a lot of what he had to say. I really was surprised. I had kind of heard about some of the stuff, but I was surprised at a lot of the things that he said. You don't want to miss the FallenState.tv this Friday. And also, we have a matching grant, and that will be ended by this month. A donor is offering up to $30,000. And some of you might not know I run a nonprofit organization called Bond, and we are rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man for 30 years. And come February of this year, if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, it'll be 31 years. So this donor, we've helped him, and he's helping us as a result of getting help. He's giving back, and I appreciate it. Amazing. So up to $30,000 matching grant. Go to rebuildingtheman.com. to donate. RebuildingTheMan.com or call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. And we're almost there. Really, we're almost there. Almost there. It's amazing. 5 hours of radio this morning. And after the show, I got back-to-back counseling. From 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. I don't know why they put them all hour to hour. What the? Well, Daddy didn't do it. Someone else did it. Because Danny know not to put them back to back like that.
Working like a slave.
I'm telling you. What? When my master said he's sick, I said, yes, master, we sick. Amazing. Let me go to T out of Alabama. T, welcome to the Hake Report. You're on with Jesse Peterson.
Yeah, Jesse, yeah. No, you hate to get this call, don't you?
No, not at all. I didn't have to take it.
Yeah. I know you've been running, man.
So the reason T is saying is because T is not allowed to call my show because it's the same old thing every time. He says the same old thing. Hold on, T. Hold on. I'm letting the people know what you're responding to in case they're not aware. So I banned T from my show because the Jesse Lee Peterson show because it's the same old complaint with the same old thing, nothing new. And so I banned it, but Hake has not banned him on his show, so I'm taking him on the HakeReport.com. Go ahead, T.
Yeah, I know you'll try to convince me to do that, though. But anyway, Jesse, the reason I said the same old thing because you do the same old topic, same old thing every day on your show, brother.
How do you know?
Okay?
How do you know?
Same thing, Jesse.
How do you know?
I listen to you, Jesse.
Every day?
Listen to you.
Amazing.
Most days. You know, most days.
Why do you listen and you don't like me?
Well, because, just again, not the fact I don't like you, man, as a human being, but, you know, I hate the lies you tell.
Well, so why are you listening if you hate the lies?
Well, because you have to understand, you know, people, to understand where you're not just lying on somebody, you have to listen to them.
And
you know
what lie did I tell?
I come to you, well, just one thing you lie about, I'm just going to throw this out there. Your thoughts are from the devil. That conversation there.
So that's a lie?
Now, it's a lie, Jess.
So are you a Christian?
Yes, I am, Jess.
When God said, bring every thought into captivity, if they were not lies, why would he want you to bring them into captivity, to not be controlled by them?
Not lies. So did he say they were from Satan, Jesse?
Why did he want you to... And why did he want, and I have another part to that too, but why did he want you to bring them into captivity if they're all lies, if they're not lies?
Okay. Well, Jesse, this is one thing. Okay, that don't mean that they were lies. He said thoughts, right?
Right.
Did he say lies?
He said bring all thoughts into captivity.
Okay, so did he say lies?
T, if you don't answer the question, I'm going to let you go. I'm not going to argue with you.
I know you're not.
I'm asking you a question. You said it's a lie that all thoughts are lies. And you say you're a Christian, why would he want you to bring them into captivity if they're not of lies?
Okay, maybe he wants you to do more thinking on them too, okay?
Well, when you bring them in captivity, when you bring them in captivity, you don't think on them. You put them in jail.
So you didn't answer that. So let me ask you this.
T, I want to come back. Other than that, I have to run. I can't play with you today.
I know you do. See, there you go.
Why,
I answered your question, Jesse.
If they're not lies, why does he want you to bring them all thoughts into captivity?
Did I just answer that for you when I just said he wants you to, I'd say, discern them, okay, before you react to them?
Did he? He didn't say discern them.
Okay, Jesse, again, I answered the question, but not the way you want to answer, okay?
And so the other part to that about the thoughts, when God said, my children shall know my voice is a voiceless voice. If thoughts were from him, why would he say his voice is a voiceless voice?
Jesse, all right, I'm going to give you a quick answer on that. I don't know, okay? Now let me get to my point.
Why would you say I'm lying?
Okay, because you are, Jesse.
Okay.
Because one thing, I want you to tell me, Jesse, and show me. I know you hate for folks to read the Bible. Even on your church show, I see you don't even have a Bible up there with you. So
I don't hate for people to... Why do you say I hate for people to read the Bible?
Because you're missing it, Jesse. You tell folks don't read the Bible.
I don't tell people not to read the Bible. I tell the people to read it if they want. People read it, put it down.
Just let it out one ear. Yeah. So what that means?
Nick, T, either you calm down. All you black people that don't want the truth to get out there, you yell and scream and carry on. You need to learn how to communicate back and forth and not try to shut down the truth by yelling over it.
Don't get emotional, Jesse.
So, T, let me ask. When did I tell people not to read the Bible?
in some of your comments. Jesse.
You never heard me say that. You're lying.
See, you like to think, okay, Jesse, I lied on you. Okay, now let me ask you this question, okay? Because I want you to get off on subject because you love to play that game. And I ain't no player with you. So let me ask you, show me in the Bible, Jesse, where does it say, Jesse, that all thoughts are from Satan, Jesse? Just tell me that. Don't go off on your little stupid. Where does it say that all thoughts are from Satan?
Look for, bring every thought into captivity, and look for, bye T. He's not even listening. Look for, bring every thought into captivity. My voice is a voiceless voice. My children shall know me by my voice, all right? T, yelling and screaming. Black people, stop yelling and screaming. I want to dialogue with you. But you can't be talking over and ask a question, make a statement, and while I'm responding, you yelling and carrying on. What the? Earl does that. T does that. And that guy from California, what's his name? What that black guy? Yeah. Oh, Tony, huh? Yeah. Tony does it. What the? Justice is out of Las Vegas. Justice, welcome to the Hake Report. You're on the air.
Thank you, Mr. Jesse Lee Peterson. How are you today?
All is well. How you doing, Justice?
I'm so blessed today, sir, and mostly because of you. So I just wanted to call and say thank you and make a couple of comments, maybe ask you a question or two.
Absolutely. You sound good.
Yeah, it's because of church yesterday, man. I don't know if anybody missed it. If you did, go back, watch it. I could have done a little less dump analogies, but, that's just because I'm a female. But it was a good point. A dump is a dump is a dump, so I get it. Anyway.
That's right, huh? And I knew the people would never forget the dump part, so that would remind them.
I'm not real happy that that's the day I forgave, but I had to pause your service with about 19 minutes left, and I had to forgive. And I've been following you for maybe like 4 or 5 months now,
yes.
And I've been trying, and I feel like I'm wasting time. Why am I so far in, and I haven't forgiven yet? And I just wanted to make a couple comments about it. I had to first. I always see God like to some extent, but I had to really just 100% all the time. Focus, seek God first in His right way all the time. And then after that, I had to forgive before I could do the silent prayer. I deal with a lot of physical pain, as you know, and so it prevents me from doing the silent prayer sometimes. It's very difficult considering that. So, it was the first time after I forgave. It was quite an experience, and I don't want to speak on it too much because it was just yesterday, so I kind of want to just process it, take it in a little bit.
Right.
But I did the silent prayer for almost an hour, and normally I couldn't even, do that 5-10 minutes. And
wow.
Right after I forgave, silent prayer for an hour. Had some experiences I don't want to get into right in this call. Not a crazy person, just some normal stuff. The definite sign from God that I was heard, and I didn't even have to ask for one or anything, and there were 3 of them right away. So it was just undeniable. So I want to say thank you so much for that, and I really look forward to what's to come,
You're welcome. You have not seen anything yet, Justice. Now, just relax. Stay with the silent prayer. Let every thought pass, and your life is unfolding. You haven't seen anything.
I totally believe you. And if you don't mind, I want to switch to 2 more comments just about politics today, the left. Really quick. I try to still speak to my friends on the left. I'm a little older. I'm 41, so not too old, but we can still be friends. We can still talk politics mostly. But lately, they've had such vitriol in their voices and such anger that I really can't even talk to them. And then when we sit down and we try to, I find that they know nothing about our current political situation whatsoever. They don't even know which states are contested. They don't know what happened in Georgia or Nevada or Pennsylvania or any of it. They don't know what Pence's choices were. They don't know what Pence and Loeffler did. They don't know anything.
Yeah.
So I know that I don't know a whole lot of anything, but I do know that I'm a lot more tapped into reality than those people. So anyway, so I just want to tell the left that the world is watching, and they're hoping and they are praying that we don't get taken over by you guys, because we are the last nation with so-called free speech. We're the last heavily armed citizenry in the world. I don't know if you guys can take that in or not, but all these governments all over the world, and you know, if you're on the left, you have free speech. It's been taken away from us for so long, and they can't even see it because they're in their little echo chamber, you know. Yeah. But the world is watching, and they're looking and hoping and praying and fighting for us. And I just want people to understand that we're the, you know, leaders of the so-called free world, as free as it gets. And the only reason for that is because we are so heavily armed. And also, I just want to say, like, last thing about the Nazis, I really appreciated the lady's call earlier. Of course they were the left. I don't know where this nonsense is coming from, that, you know, the Nationalist Socialist Party was on the right. It's nonsense. I'm really tired of how governments are rewriting history and teaching these young people all these fables, all this BS. And I don't know. Basically, my dad asked my Oma, my grandmother, before she died, to record her story escaping from Nazi Germany to the States. And she's a really quiet, soft-spoken lady, and she actually converted to being a Franciscan nun. You know, it's pretty not too long after we got here. And my family loves this country. But anyway, at the end of it, she says something very chilling, and she doesn't ever have a chilling voice or whatever. And she says, and don't think that this can't ever happen again. And it really sticks with me. And this time, they're coming for whites, they're coming for conservatives, and they're coming for Christians, for sure, without a doubt. And if people can't see that today, I don't know. I don't know what else to tell them. You know, because I come from this place, I know to be prepared. I know what to expect. And I'm just trying to wake some people up. You know.
Yeah. You know, you said a couple of things I want to respond to. Number one, it's amazing that the people don't see what's happening in this country. They don't see they're losing freedoms. And when you said that your friends don't know anything about what's going on with the voting thing or anything, I was talking to family members I mentioned in my show. I went and visited with family members yesterday, and they don't know. They literally don't know what's going on. And they would say what they hear in the liberal media. Oh, Trump is a liar. Trump just lied. Well, what did he lie about? They go blank. They have nothing.
Yeah, the person I was talking to had a master's degree. Yep.
They go blank. And then one of my family members said, well, Trump don't respect women like he does, right? Trump don't respect women. I'm like, what do you mean? Well, he said he would grab the so-and-so. I said, he never said he would do that. He said that when you're famous, there are women who will let you do that. And it was two guys talking together. And he was like, well, he shouldn't have ever said that. What do you mean he shouldn't have said it? That's what guys do. And then he like, well, you're not supposed to grab it. And I asked him, have you ever said that you would grab it? He dropped his head and he said, yes, I've said it.
Locker room talk.
Yeah. I'm like, what the? And so, and he told me, I said, you know what? You should watch Fox News. You have a better chance of getting both sides of the story there than you would at these MSNBC and CNN. And he said, no, I don't watch Fox because my daughter told me not to watch Fox. It would make me angry. And so I watched it, and it made me angry. So he stopped watching Fox and started to watch CNN and MSNBC. And everything that they say on those channels, these people are repeating it without even knowing what's really going on. It's mind-blowing to see that.
It really is. And if you don't mind, can I ask you a question and then one last comment?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think we should shame Pence and Loeffler?
You know, I don't know because I don't know the whole story. And since I now don't believe the media at all, I don't know what really went down. So I can't really say at this point.
Sure.
And these people, they're always trying to make the president look bad. They're always trying to make it look like everyone that he knows is against him. They're not telling the truth when it comes to the president, so I don't know.
Not at all. And trying to stomp Parler already.
Yeah.
And I never even bothered making one. I knew it wasn't going to survive. I thought it was just a info grab. Anyways, last little comment before I let you go.
Yes.
A lot of people are making these references to you about, you're telling people not to read the Bible and things like that. That's not the case. There's a lot of things that you say that I'll let you say, and I don't need to repeat them about the Bible. But one thing I just wanted to point out, that something I don't think people realize is that at least for a decade now, like the person making and publishing the most Bibles in the United States is Al-Walid bin Talal, the prince before bin Salman.
Uh-huh.
So just something to think about. Just something, maybe you don't know everything. Just saying. On the left, I mean.
I wish that people, I'm telling you, Justice, I wish that if people did nothing else, I wish that they would get to know themselves, because once they get to know themselves, they're going to wake up. They will understand what's going on. They will see what's happening.
They just have to forgive first, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
It'll be amazing.
Right. Thank you so much.
Amazing
Thank
call,
you so much,
Justice.
Jesse.
It's good to hear from you, and you sound amazing.
I'm telling you, Jesse, people, you got to hear that sermon from yesterday. You got to hear it.
It was amazing.
It was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Life-changing. Thank you.
All right.
All right, bye.
Bye
Take
now.
care.
You're welcome. It was amazing church yesterday. I love the fellowships that we have at Barn. If you have not watched that, go to rebuildingtheman.com/church. rebuildingtheman.com/church. And ladies, we are having a ladies forum tonight. Thursday night, this Thursday. And it's the second Thursday this month, because I'll be out of town on the third Thursday. So I want to make sure we have one, because the ladies want them, and I do too. And I want to make sure we do it this week. So this Thursday at 7 p.m. for ladies only. All right? Go to rebuildingtheman.com for more information, or call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. And look, the Antidote, healing America from the poison of hate, blame, and victimhood. Can you put it close up? Is out in paperback. We finally got it done. It is an amazing book. If you want to understand about the fathers and some of these so-called leaders who have been running out of a country and making decisions for you, you'll see what their father and son relationship was like. You'll stop listening to them then. The Antidote, healing America from the poison of hate, blame, and victimhood. Go to rebuildingtheman.com if you want an autographed copy, rebuildingtheman.com, or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. All right, Christina is out of Sacramento. Are there announcements James make for himself at this time? No?
No, not really.
Oh, okay. The Hake Report is here Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 Pacific time. I made that about the women forum. The Hake Report, 9 to 11, Monday through Friday, Pacific time. Hake will be back tomorrow. He's under the weather today. But I think he'll be back tomorrow. He'll feel better. But, and if he doesn't be back tomorrow, he's beta Hake. Beta Hake. Christina out of Sacramento. Christina, welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, Jesse.
Morning.
You're doing a great job filling in for Hake.
Thank you.
It's appreciated.
It's
Absolutely. Amazing. So, Jesse, there's something that I finally, thank God, I've come to the realization I had no idea. So, finally, this last individual in my family that I let go of resenting and freed myself up of, what happened is it cleared the way for me to finally see that I've been judging myself all these years. I had no idea I was doing it.
Amazing.
And yes, it's just I didn't realize that the thoughts would come up about something I did when I was a kid, or something I did when I was, years ago, and then this feeling would come over me of, oh gosh, you did that. Oh, this doom, in a slight way. But once I finally forgave this last person, I started to see it. What the heck's going on?
Yeah, we are not allowed, as human beings, the worst thing that we can do is to judge ourselves ourselves and others. We cannot play God, because anyone who has anger has hatred, and hatred is evil, and it's of the devil, and God will not give us peace. He will not let us in. We cannot judge. We just can't. We can disagree, but we can't judge. We will never know God. We'll know about him. You'll hear about him. You believe in an intellectual way what you hear about him, but you would never know him. We simply cannot hate one another. And I've been saying this for 30 years.
You have, and I've been listening to you for that long.
Amazing. Well, I'm glad you finally see that. You can't judge yourself either. Of ourselves,
Jesse,
we know
it's
nothing.
incredible.
I'm sorry?
Right. And so what I didn't realize what was happening is this I see the difference between thought and awareness is
yes.
absolutely mind-boggling how clear that I can finally hear that after all this time. There is a huge difference between the two, and this awareness came to me when a thought came up about something that happened when I was younger or whatever.
Right.
That how could I have helped it? That I was conditioned to do this.
Yes.
It wasn't
Absolutely.
my fault. And none of it was my fault. And it's not an excuse or it's not a cop-out. It's just I couldn't help it. If you're raised in an environment, how else can you not do that? And then going and growing in the fallen state, of course people are going to act this way. I'm going to act this way and carry on.
Absolutely.
Of course. And so I thought, and then it's just like it let go. That little judgment that I've been doing forever, it's sort of released. And
amazing.
I thought, wow, this is amazing.
Well, it's going to get better. You have not seen anything yet. It gets better. And God is bringing you back to yourself, the real self, the way you were as a kid before you fell into that judgment stuff. And there is nothing, absolutely nothing, no thing like being yourself. I am happy to be me. I don't want to be like anyone else. I wish everybody else well, but I like and appreciate amazing talent when I see it in others. It is so amazing when I see it. But I don't want to be like anyone else. Now you're coming back to yourself. You're going to finally live. It gets better.
And you see that, don't you? You just do. You see that, it's okay for people to be who they are. You're happy for them.
Yes.
You're not jealous of them.
Yep.
You just see the goodness that they have and whatever problems they have, that's their business. It's none of my business.
That's right.
What a miracle.
Well, Christina, amazing story. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you, Jesse.
Amazing. Thank you, Christina. That is so nice. You could be free, folks. You know what? I forgot to go back to Bob out of Chicago. And I believe he's ready now. I think Nick told me, too, that Bob is ready. And we'll get to your super chats and good stuff in a minute here. Bob, let's try it again.
Sure.
Oh, okay. Much better.
Yes, you are amazing. Earl and T are amusing.
Amusing.
So, one thing I wanted to say about them is I like your technique and Hake. What you end up doing is you kind of force them to choke on their own verbal vomit.
Yes.
Right, and that's an excellent technique, and I think everybody can see it. Maybe eventually they will see it too.
That's right.
We gotta wait. So anyway, I'm from Chicagoland, and I'm in the middle of transforming Chicago into an all-white city. And when that happens, I'm going to permit you to have free rent at the Trump Tower.
I can't wait. That would be amazing.
Anyway,
the Great White Hope.
The point, or the couple of things I just wanted to mention, I won't keep you long. I totally agree, and I think it's easy for others to see the light that Jesus is not God. Maybe you can make a T-shirt that says Jesus is the S-O-G, not the G-O-D. Son of God, not God.
But the one thing about that, Bob, is that people need to see it for themselves, because
right, and
that's the reason I know that Jesus is the Son and not the Father, because I can clearly see that.
And I came to that awareness maybe the same time you did, years, if not decades ago.
Right. Did you think at one time Jesus was God?
Oh, definitely. Man, I was born Lutheran, the Trinity thing. Then I became Oneness Pentecostal, where they actually, the Holy Roller, speaking in tongues. I remember just sometimes going wild, dancing, and my shoes flying off, and all kinds of. I don't regret that. It did bring me a lot of joy.
That's right. I would rather have the Bible thumpers than not the Bible thumper, because at least the Bible thumpers are trying to have some control of themselves. They read the Bible and intellectually they believe it, and so they don't go completely out of control. But those who don't even read the Bible at all, they tend to go out of control. If you look at the blacks right now, they're out of control because they just don't. I don't even know if they read the Bible anymore, but they're out of control. So I'm glad for the Bible thumpers. I don't.
Yeah.
So we have to make sure we don't resent them or judge them or anything.
Yeah, and again, for me, it was this incredible sense of joy in the Holy Ghost, speaking in tongues, and getting goosebumps and dancing. It like you said, it's going overboard, but kind of in a good way, not in a destructive way like some people do.
Yeah,
but
you're right. But people need to see it, because it's not good to believe something just because someone said it. God said, "Trust no man," so it's not good to believe something just because someone said it. And I've noticed with not all, but most of the blacks, they don't even believe that Christianity is for black people anymore, because they've been told that Christianity is the white man religion. I never thought in my entire life that the blacks would come to that point. But when you have anger, as Nick, my producer, reported in my show, it's easy to believe a lie when you have anger.
Well, and like I think you're going to agree with me, if most of Christianity is promoting this Jesus is God, the Trinity, that is actually a lie, and it's just so much easier for the blacks or the other people. Well, if that's a lie, the whole thing must be a lie.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the work of the devil, working on people's thoughts and minds to just throw out the baby with the bathwater, right?
I know it. That's why we got to bring men back. Men must come back in order for people to understand. Thank you, Bob. I'm running out of time here, so I got to rush. Not Joe, but Super Chats and D-Line. I get to Joe in a minute. Super Chat. For the Hake Report.
All right, let's check out these couple ones real quick. Mo better stand up with another diamond. When Earl going to sign up to be a black Israelite?
It sounds like he's on the way.
And when it rains with a diamond, Jesse versus Earl on the next Fallen State.
That would be interesting. I couldn't have Earl on the Fallen State because, as you can see, you can't have a conversation with people like that. So it wouldn't be possible.
Huh?
That
was all.
Thank you all. I can hear Hake right now thanking you for it, so thank you. HakeReport.com. He should be back tomorrow. If not, but let me go to Andrew out of Virginia. Andrew, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Yeah, hey, Jesse. How's it going?
All is well. Andrew, how are you?
I'm doing all right. So it's actually funny. When I was holding, I heard Earl and T call in, and the funny thing about the children of Satan is that they embody the characteristics of their daddy. And in the Bible, it actually says, Satan prowls and roars like a lion looking to devour somebody. So whenever they come on the phone yelling and screaming that mess, it's like, yeah, that's just like your daddy.
100%.
So it's easy to see who they are.
Yeah. But they don't know that you can see them.
Yeah, it's like you're watching them and they think they're sneaking up on you, but you're like, nah, they're not sneaking up on anybody.
That's amazing.
So they're deceived. But you were also saying, take all thoughts into captivity, and that's actually scriptural. The guy T, I believe, was saying that it's not in the Bible.
Yeah.
And there's a clear Bible verse that says, casting down imaginations and all high things that stand against the knowledge of God and taking every thought into captivity in the obedience of Jesus.
Amazing.
Of Christ, which demonstrates everything you said, because if the thought is not in obedience to Christ, then it's a lie, because Christ is the truth.
There you
which
go.
means it's a lie. So to all you guys listening who still have Satan as your daddy, there you go. But I also wanted to say a couple of things. So I live around the D.C. area, and of late I've actually been driving in and out of D.C., and I actually crossed past a church, and the church had like all this Black Lives Matter stuff, all of these gay pride flags, and like it was almost revealed to me that it was like Sodom and Gomorrah in a way, where everything that was good had become perverted, and where you saw what the church should have been, it became something completely different. And Chris was actually talking about, Chris and Joel, they were actually having a conversation about, was it right for the Trump protesters, if in fact they were Trump protesters, to storm the Capitol. And Chris brought up the example of Christ in the temple where, he called what it had become a den of thieves. And when you look at what Christ did, it was the right thing to do, because what the church was originally intended to be was the house of the Lord, where you would go and you would receive the word and you would know the truth and come to be reborn of the Spirit through that way.
That's why we got to bring men back, because that's not going to happen until men come back to their natural state of being, because God worked through men. And, and that's why the first attempt is to get rid of the men, and then everything else will fall once men fall. We got to bring them back. Andrew, thank you, man. I got to run. I appreciate you. But I'm running out of time, and so many people want to get out on the hate report. So thank you, Andrew. Let me go quickly to David, a first-time caller out of San Jose, California. David, thank you for calling. You on the air.
Hey, Jesse Lee, man. First and foremost, I just want to say, I thank God for you and what I call your ministry, and I very much appreciate it. I'll get to the question. Another thing I wanted to mention really quick is that my son put me onto you, and I had no idea for many, many moons I was a beta until I came across your message. But since then, I've taken the steps to reconcile myself with the Father, and things have been amazing. Yeah. But while I had gotten saved, when I say saved, I had accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior back in 2017. At that time, prior to that, drug addict, alcoholic, basically taking up air on planet Earth, growing up in the Bay Area, you accept what's abnormal as being normal, because I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area. You know what I mean? I never knew anything other than what goes on around here, and I'm in the heart of Silicon Valley. A lot of liberals, a lot of liberal mentalities. So what happened was I ended up going into AA, worked my steps, accepted the Lord. Things got really good. But one thing that I couldn't let go of is I had a daughter while I was in my fallen state.
Yeah.
So my daughter's now 4 years old. The woman that I had this little girl with, because I was walking in with God, I wanted to do the right thing. I didn't want to be fornicating, having premarital sex with her. So we got married. And supposedly she had gotten sobered up, and she was supposedly walking with the Lord too. What I didn't realize, Jesse, is that there's a lot of different denominations, a lot of different interpretations of who God is, yada yada. And I'm thinking, well, if we all believe in Jesus, it's all the same thing, right? And I was wrong. So what happened is that we got married, and I'm thinking that everything's hunky-dory, but I didn't realize that I was still worshiping her. I was still under the influence of my mom. I was still falling. I was a new creature in Christ, yada, yada, yada. And I mean, God showed up and showed out, but nonetheless, I knew that there was still something wrong, because she continued in her behavior that was abandonment. She basically left me with our daughter, jump ship, this, that, and the third. Let me get to, and this is what I'm trying to get to. Now, God has seen fit for me to have my daughter with me, right? She jumped ship again. I've got my the son who introduced me to you. Yes. His name's David as well. He lives with me as well. After many years while I was in my addiction, I was not a fully functional dad. Right. I was like a part-time parent. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yep. I love myself, and I love my dope and my drug, my alcohol, and my women way more than I love him. But now it's like God's given me a season to be a active dad, a participant in his life as well as my daughter's. My question to you is, because my wife has continually, and I've introduced her to your message as well, but she continues to rebel against my authority. When I woke up and I forgave my mom and forgave my dad, which was amazing, right?
Amazing.
I started to see things for what they really were with her. And so she supposedly did the same thing with her mom. Her father has passed away, but then I noticed she was still rebellious, like that spirit of rebellion was still in her.
Yeah.
And now I knew too much to kind of compromise what I know is right, because you know, I've heard you say before, it ain't about being nice and teetoing around. If it's evil, you call it for what it is. So, and she showed to me that spirit is still in her because she jumped ship again. So I'm blessed because now I have my daughter with me. And when I think about my daughter, I think about legacy, like she's going to be somebody's wife, my grandson or granddaughter one day. I think forward, you know, God's given me that foresight. And so raising her, I want to make sure that she's prepared to take on life, you know, as a God-fearing woman. Again, that's, you know, to the best of my ability, but I knew old girl had to cut, and she had to be out of the picture because she was modeling that same rebellious, you know what I mean? Like, you know, so my question to you is this. I haven't filed for a divorce. I believe that she is, but I think she's still playing the game. You know how they play the game, trying to see what I'm going to do. She's living with her aunt and uncle, who both of these cousins that live over there, they are they're gay. Okay, and their partners live there too. So her uncle is like a beta male. Those kids, they run the house. They're all in their mid-20s. They still live at the house. Again, they're in these gay relationships. And she was trying to take my daughter over there, and I'm like, you know, Davina, my daughter's only 4 years old. She doesn't have. I want to give her a fighting chance in this world. You're not going to go and I'm not going to just hand her over to you. We're supposedly Christians, and if you want to co-sign their lifestyle, that's fine. We're not called to hate. We're called to love. But at the same time, I got to protect my flock.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And so my question to you is now, how should I approach the situation? I don't know what she's. And then she got back into the good graces of her mom. Her mom is a narcissist, straight up evil. Evil, just as evil as my mom. And so, like, and they can't stand each other. But the thing is that how should I know you say be still.
Yes.
Have a wait-and-see attitude, you know.
Yeah.
Right now, even the court system would have no choice but being in my corner because I'm the primary care provider for my daughter.
Right
I work full-time, take care of my daughter. My son is helping me with until I could get her into another daycare, like during the daytime while I'm at work.
Right on.
So I'm good. But how should I approach it as far as, like, I don't want to get blindsided with nothing because, again, she's definitely in a fallen state. And her mama conspiring, who knows what they might be up to. What would you suggest?
As far as what?
The wife situation.
Should you get a divorce or should you stay? Or are you asking me that?
Yeah, because if she tries to pop back on the scene, or even if she thought, like, because I don't want, I'm a divorcee. My son, I had divorced my wife. I initiated that, and I suffered because of it. When I was young, 20-something years old.
Oh, I see.
Got married, 22.
Here's what I recommend.
I don't want to initiate it.
Yeah, don't initiate a divorce. I would. Are you able to get custody of your child, like legal custody?
And that's the thing. I don't know whether or not I can file that without it being a part of a divorce proceeding. But as of, like, who she lives with, she's with me.
Oh,
you know what I mean? She sees her maybe once a week. You know what I mean?
I would recommend that you secretly speak with that type of attorney that can answer that question. Don't hire him or anything. Just ask, tell him your situation. We're separated. I take care of my daughter. I don't know what she may come up with. Could I get legal custody with my daughter? If you could do that, I would do that, but don't do a divorce thing because your wife may overcome. She may wake up. She may come around. Yeah. And if she want a divorce, let her file it. That way the consequences would be on her and not on you.
Right.
But, so I would secretly talk to some lawyer, find a lawyer that you can trust, and just ask him, could you get legal custody without the divorce, right? And then if you could do that, I would do that, just in case they're coming up with something. And other than that, I would not get a divorce. I would go and live my life.
Got it, man. Hey, Jesse, man, that's valuable advice. And I wanted to mention something really, really quick. It's that when it comes down to, this whole feminist movement, the Me Too movement, I mean, you name it, all these different movements, Rome got crippled when they feminized themselves. And like I said, I operated a long time, like trying to be open-minded, and I didn't know I was a beta at the time, yada yada yada. But the bottom line is that empire fell when they started praying to goddesses, the army, the military fell. It was all because of them praying to female gods, and then before you know it, these warriors, this warrior civilization became feminized, and then they opened themselves up to the barbarians, and it was a wrap.
That's what happened in Africa too. Africa turned away from God, and they start worshiping women, cows, animals. They start killing chickens and doing that crap, voodoo stuff. That's what happened to them as well. Amazing.
Amazing. Well, God help us, man. And I did vote for Obama back in the day, but I was still asleep. I voted for Trump. God bless the president, man.
Right on.
It's just an awesome time to be alive, brother.
Thank you, David. Call me again, all right?
I definitely will. God bless you, Jesse.
All right, you too, buddy. Thank you. Super chat, D-Live.
There's no new ones.
Yes, there are. Super chat, we'll come back. Nick just told me we have some.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Let me go to Jacob, first-time caller out of Orlando, Florida. Jacob, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, can you hear me well? They're having a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, I hear you right now. Go ahead, Jacob, because of time.
Oh, okay. It's a bit of a complicated issue. So, pretty much, I've already came to forgive my mother. I wrote her a letter and everything in my fears, trying to get her to understand my part of it a little while back. That was right before my wedding.
Yeah.
We had a ceremony. Me and my wife have been married for 7 years now.
Jacob, your phone is going. It sounds so important, but your phone going out.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna step inside the truck so there's no wind.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, pretty much, I've already talked to her about everything. I came to give her. I told her, my feelings about the whole situation and all that. She's pretty much just insane, trying to control me and all that.
Yeah.
And she uses the Bible against people. But I'll try to make it short. So basically...
Oh, we just opened a treasure chest. Okay, go ahead, Jacob. What's your question for me?
So basically, my wife is pregnant now, and we've already gotten to the point where we decided that we just need to completely cut my mom out of our life because she just brings an evil spirit with her everywhere she goes.
Yes.
But at this point, my wife's pregnant, but my siblings believe that it's completely wrong of me to try to keep my child away from my mom, even though I don't think that that's the kind of environment a child should be in. And pretty much my question is, what should I say to my siblings? What should I do?
Give them the finger and go live your life. Do not let your mother around, man. She will destroy your child, your marriage, and everything else. You have to protect your family now. You want to create a family of love. And so that family is done with. You're starting your own family. Do not. Do what you want, but I advise you, don't let mama come around. It's over.
Okay, that's really what I want to do.
Your siblings are baiters, and they don't know how to deal with the evil that's in your mother, so they've submitted to it. You're rebelling, and that's the best way to go. So forgive your mother. It sounds like you've done that, and be done with it. Don't let your mother in your life, man.
Okay. So
tell your mama, tell your sibling to go play with mama. You're not letting mama around. You're throwing mama from the train.
Okay. Well, that's definitely good to hear.
All right.
All right, man. I've actually been a long time listener. Just let you know that.
Oh, thank you.
I've never called in. I mean, honestly, I don't really know what to say. I didn't think I was going to get through today.
Do the silent prayer, Jacob, and you'll be fine. But unless your mother truly say, you know what, I was wrong for turning you away from your father, trying to control your life, I would never do that again. Then you can kind of play with her a little bit, but then take your time with that too. Don't rush her back in, period. But for now, no. Do not let your mother around.
Okay. Well, I don't know. She's tried to say things like that in the past.
Don't fall for it.
So. No. All right, well, I don't want to take up too much of your time.
All right. Call me
Thank you
again,
so
Jacob. I wish you well, and congratulations on the new baby, man.
Thank you so much. If I have any questions, I'm definitely going to call you up, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you, buddy.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
All right. So the treasure chest is open. What did we do right now? Did we do D-Live stuff or no? Okay. All right. So listen, I'm sitting there for Hake right now. If he's not, I don't know, but he should be here tomorrow. If not, beta. He's a beta with the good hair. Beta hair. Julian is a first-time call out of North Carolina. Julian, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. How are you?
All is well, sir. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
I'm a first-time caller to Hake Show, but I called you probably a few weeks ago, and I've been to your church too.
Oh, okay.
At least, yeah, one time. I was calling because I had realized something about anger recently, and I've been doing a silent prayer, and I think a lot has been revealed to me just by doing that as well.
Yep.
Also, one of them being that Jesus is not God. I think that's which I never really believed that anyway, but I asked God to show me, and He kind of showed me in the way that I realized that I was addressing Him as God, but when I addressed Him as my Father,
yes,
I had like this sort of feeling of same way I felt when I knew I had to forgive my own father and my own mother. It was like my soul was kind of repenting, and I had that same feeling come over me when I addressed Him as Father, and I acknowledged Jesus as my brother.
Right on, man. My soul has been redeemed.
Yeah, and that's what confirmed it for me. And also, I realized that because in the past, like when I would think about women I've dealt with in my past, like exes, right? Sometimes they would just spark in my mind, and then I would have this fear come over me just thinking about them for some reason. And I realized that I was traumatized at a young age by my own mother because of her anger, and I realized that her emotions had traumatized me.
Yes.
Because it wasn't that I was afraid of that person; I was afraid of the emotion.
Yes, sir.
And it caused me to not want to deal with people and not stand up because I didn't want to deal with the emotions of anger, and it traumatized me from a kid. And
that's deep.
And I realized, and I realized everything that she was basically saying was true because I realized, as children, we're traumatized by our parents' emotions from a young age, and it causes us not to have the strength to stand up in the world, stand up to evil. We kind of like back down to it, and we kind of just like, okay, well, hey, if you like it, I love it, and gay marriage, sure. We don't want to stand up to anything.
Yeah,
we just don't want to stand up because we're traumatized. We're traumatized by emotions.
100%.
But yeah, I know you're out of time, and that's all I wanted to say. I want to say thank you as well.
You're welcome.
For everything that you've done. And I've also called about my grandmother in the past. I'm still in the process. I'm still going to go forgive my grandmother, too.
Yeah.
I forgave my mother and my father, but I realized that my grandmother played a big role by her stepping in and taking, her turning me away from my father and my mother by making me judge them.
Yeah.
And I figured that out by doing a silent prayer again as well. I asked myself, why was I so judgmental? And I realized that I had got that from my grandmother.
Amazing.
She had taught me how to judge my mother. And you know how grandmothers can be. They can be like, did your mama cook for you today? And I'm sitting there thinking like, no, she didn't cook. But grandma, you always cook for me. Like, it's just
good, That's amazing. But Julie, this last call is an amazing call. It's deep. Thank you, man.
No problem.
And let me know when you deal with your grandmother as well, all right?
I will.
Okay, buddy. Amazing call. This is the Hake. I'm out of callers. I'm out of time. I'll be back tomorrow, or maybe Hake will, if he's not about it. But I'll be back tomorrow. The Hake Report is here Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And remember Hake when you do your silent prayer, wishing well. You're not feeling well, a little under the weather, not that bad. Hake tend to get a cold every year. But you'll be fine. Thank you all for tuning in for the HakeReport.com today. I don't take it for granted. Do the silent prayer. Speak up and don't resent. Doubt every thought, and the rest is history. Have a good one, folks. TheHakeReport.com.